Talking about lies today, so there's this story yesterday in the Daily Mail. A modern rake's progress is about me. It's by Alison Boshoff, or Boshoff, Alison Boshoff at the Daily Mail. Right, it talks about me. There's a lot of lies in here, saying about what it seems to be saying is that I'm a construction, Matthew and Trevor. Like that I'm. What, in what respects?
Well, everyone is a construction in
yeah,
a
no,
way.
but so it's saying I'm specifically a construction. I mean, I suppose we're all an amalgamation of experiences and ideas and stuff like that. Because that's the main problem with, that Alison Boshoff seems to have with me, is like she's sort of saying that I've reinvented myself as, it says that, born into home county's gentility. I was born in Grace. Gentility? It weren't gentle, it was a horrible place. Awful, rough. Bullying went on, swearing, spitting in the streets, victimisation. Russell Brand reinvented himself as a drug-taking, womanising dad. He didn't reinvent himself as a drug taker, I was a drug addict.
This is because who you are, the sort of person you are, and it angers the Daily Mail. Because you're someone who's taking drugs and then come back from it, so that makes their sort of what they're like.
Their stance is, drugs kill
drugs
you,
will kill you.
Else.
Oh look, this person hasn't died from drugs and he's quite intelligent and stuff. It's just they're trying to attack you.
Yeah, reinvented himself as a drug-taking, womanising dandy. His reward, a lucrative TV career. How very 21st century.
Is that what it says?
That's about how very 21st century.
Oh God,
that is a
newspaper
lie,
I hate that newspaper. Awful.
For Brand, though, the coverage in the down market press led to the kind of publicity that was absolute catnip. That's amazing.
I love it. I love the phrase.
Why catnip? Why would any human want catnip? It's aimed at the cat market, surely, catnip, mostly. It was immediately booked on Friday night with Jonathan Ross, and within days his agent was fielding offers from major broadcasters. The buzz only served to fuel Brand's raging narcissism. Well, I'm a bit vain. Within days he was making passes at Poppett's Myling class and Danny Minogue. Making passes are simply waving at. Just sort of said hello to him.
Well, making passes.
Oh, you can look. I mean, I think the only reason I really talk to people is to see if I can get sex out of them. Except for you pair, of course. Where's this?
You do look a bit posh in that picture, though.
Good. I'm glad I look posh. I look nice.
Home county's gentility. I've met your mum and dad, and
they're scum of the earth. Roland
that didn't sound bad. I don't mean that. Just they're normal people, like my mum and dad.
Gentility tends to mean that you're landed, and
I'm landed. You ain't got no land.
You ain't got no land.
Mind you, he did just have a go at me for having a Dartford accent.
Yeah, well, come on, Matt. We've come a long way, baby. What's this ridiculous business here? Because he was well paid, his drug use escalated. This is talking about the MTV days. I'd spend my days interviewing pop stars and my evenings in crack houses. Well, that's true.
That was true. You
did happen.
Go some mad
did go horrible places, crack houses.
Do you remember when someone tried to shoot you?
Yeah. So I went to buy some crack and heroin once from an estate. And
Russell phoned me up and goes, "Yeah, I just went to buy some drugs and someone shot at me from a tower block." And I went, "What? Are you all right?" Yeah, it hit the taxi. I said, "Oh my God, what happened?" He goes, "There was a small dent in it. Basically, someone had shot at him with an air gun."
It was a tiny gun, but if it hit me, it would hurt.
It would have stung, wouldn't it?
It would have really stung. Yeah. Oh, you shot me then, it really hurt. You're a bully, I only pinched you. I was joking, but you're serious when you done it.
Just like Tupac, your life, isn't it?
I'm a bit like a modern-day white Tupac from middle-class gentility in the Shires. Because he was well paid, his drug use escalated. All right, Brand was often so intoxicated that his behaviour verged on the insane. On one occasion, he brought a piglet into work in a blanket, pretending it was a baby. I did not bring a piglet to work and pretend it was a baby. Right, everyone, I'm at work now. If you're wondering what's inside this blanket, it's a baby. Why is it oinking and pooing itself and looking like a piglet? Don't question yourself with that. As you rightly pointed out, Matthew, that is from Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? Yeah. Like a piglet, someone pretending that a piglet's a baby, or a baby
she
pretending
has
a piglet.
a baby and then she looks down and it's turned into a piglet.
Yeah. They're literally taking things from Lewis Carroll.
But
he followed a white rabbit down a hole and then ended up in a crazy world where playing cards were treated as royalty. It was bonkers there. Brand had it off with one, then collapsed into a sack. It's nonsense.
But we did have a pig's head. Do you remember Antoine Showbiz?
Oh yeah, I mean, I suppose what this has come from is we did have a severed pig's head that we put on top of a baby's
toddler's body. We had it in
Not a
little
real
pushchair.
toddler, a toy one. And then we said it was called Antoine Show Business, and we took it out and let it live the life of Riley.
But he certainly wasn't alive, and it wasn't a piglet.
It wasn't a piglet. Well, that would be cruel to get a live piglet and treat it like a baby. And then, would you? I mean, would you breastfeed it? Where'd you go?
It depends if you're brood. If it's your time of month, you might be having a sort of phantom
Trevor,
pregnancy.
I don't know about you, but I don't menstruate, and I certainly don't have phantom pregnancies in which I think I need a piglet to fulfil my phantom pregnancy.
Sometimes, don't you?
I do. I really want children actually now.
There you are, see.
But I would never think I'll get a piglet in the meanwhile.
One day you might be so desperate and lonely that but that's what we have.
Trevor, if
pets. Your pet,
desperation
you
and
treat your-
loneliness is all that's required, I would be surrounded now. I'd be like a Fagin
I
character.
don't think you should have children because your cat's a nervous wreck.
My cat is not a nervous wreck. He's
It
very
is, though.
confident.
He is now.
We've discussed this on the show before. We have to change our energy around it.
Change your energy, man. You're upsetting the cat. I'll tell you why that is. Because you've got stomp around in hobnail boots, you drunk, and you've got a previous for a form sheet as long as your arm for killing and slaughtering animals.
That's not true. Animals like me.
Why is your cat gone like
Like the same way that predators can lure people into like you groom the animals. That's why they like you. What are you saying, Matthew?
that? Why is your cat gone like that?
I think it's because he's living out in the world and he's just fighting all the time.
So that's how you'd bring up a child.
Right, get out there and fight. Because people say I've got to cut his nuts off, I won't do it.
I beg your pardon.
The cat, people say cut the cat's nuts
Well,
off.
do let
They
a vet
don't
do
say
it.
that, do they?
I'll do it myself. If anyone's going to do this, it'll be me and these nail clippers. Yeah, so this is nonsense. Absolute nonsense, this business.